I welcome you to this presentation, a rather different one in that I now look to reinforce your numbers orientation, which I consider to be a vital competency in your profile, deficiency in which can severely impair you. I'm Ajoy Basu. In the corporate and business world, for a senior functionary, no competency matrix will be complete without including therein a reasonable proficiency at numbers orientation. Numbers orientation is as much about understanding and deploying accounting and financial concepts as it is about being on the top of select spreadsheet skills. While Microsoft Excel provides you with several varied spreadsheet functions and formulae, you need to use a combination of such functions often and formulate them into deployable tools. Sometimes it may just be that one function application, one formula application that does the trick. This series of spreadsheet skills will introduce and train you to use pre-developed tools which can make a significant difference to the way you handle select tasks. Of course, you will need to adapt them to your requirements, which your RIAs should ensure. In this capsule, I introduce you to a very efficient way to extract information from a database. When dealing with multiple criteria, I use a database feature of Excel involving the use of advanced filter. As you will see in the practical demonstration, you can define multiple criteria and extract the required information from small or large databases, which can be processed further. The whole process of extracting the data using multiple criteria happens, as they say, in a jiffy. I'm sure that you'll find this capsule particularly relevant whether you're part of the operations, HR, marketing, finance, IT, or any other department of the organization. I would also imagine that you must be using other methods presently for the same effect, like using the ordinary filter. But that's a very convoluted and a longer way of doing things which takes time. You will find this particularly useful. I'm very sure about it because I've taught this to so many of the people whom I mentor, and I find that they've found it very useful and they've grabbed it in that particular instant for usage. Let me practically demonstrate the deployment of advanced filter to you. So we have the Excel workbook right in front of you on the screen. So we call it the TRP tool for numbers orientation, advanced filter. This tool is used to extract specific items from a database involving complex criteria. So let us get into this database first. You have the date here. These are details of sales. The date starts from 2nd of April and goes all the way down. Not a very large list. Not a laundry list of year really, it's just for a couple of months or maybe up to the July of that year, 2019. And then you have the next field, that is the bill number, customer, product, total, and what has been paid. You can also see that when I look at the customer, here it's Pramod. Pramod appears again here. Similarly, Pankaj appears twice. Mitesh is here, Mitesh is there again. So the repetitions of the same people coming in, and of course on different days the names are repeated whenever they have come. The products also tend to be repeated. Milk, butter, milk appears twice here. Then you have cheese here too, right up there. And then of course the total. Now let us say that I have multiple criteria which I am advancing to you. I want to extract from this database is an extracted database, an excerpt which has customer as Mitesh. The product should be cheese. So if Mitesh has bought milk, that will not qualify for my list. I need a total which is greater than or equal to 200, and to complicate it further, I want a date which is greater than or equal to 5th of May 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4, I can have more of them criteria. So how do I ensure? It is not that I need the total of these transactions which come in, which I can use with other functions like sum if or even a pivot. I would want an actual list to come through, and here is the list which has been using the same criteria. So there are two instances, and this becomes extremely useful for me because I can process this further. So when do I use advanced filter? When I have a database, I need to extract information from that based on multiple criteria, and then it comes here. I put the process here. If you can have a look at it, you can even imbibe that and put it as part of your worksheet when you emulate the same thing yourself. And let me demonstrate how do I apply it once so that you get the full grasp of it. So I go to data. You can see here advanced. I click on that. I normally prefer not to filter it in place, filter it to another location in the same spreadsheet, and I can go here. So you can see the defaults coming here, A9 to F44. A9, the database starts here A9 and it goes right down to F44. So A9 to F44, the default is already there, otherwise you'll have to choose it, mark it, and then it comes there. And the criteria range is H10 to K11, that is H10 here and K11 here. So already there, you don't have to bother much about it. Now where do I want this particular report to come in, the extracted information? So I put it here and I click on OK, and there you have it, the same thing repeated. This is my practice sheet for advanced filter. Though I use it so often, it is a part of my riyaz that I practice it at least once in 3 days. So this tool is always within my immediate orbit of recall. When I see a situation which warrants the invoking of this particular Excel function of advanced filter, it doesn't take me even a fraction of a minute to get that and immediately deploy it because I practice it regularly. There are many functions, almost 60 of them, which I feel I need to practice once in 3 to 4 days or at least once a week so that they don't fade away from memory, because that is essentially a very vital pillar of my numbers orientation. So friends, with that you would have come to grasp how the advanced filter will help you to extract information from a database using multiple criteria. I've tried many other ways of doing the same thing, but I felt that this is what gives me a list of information, not just the summary or the aggregate as such. I can always draw a total or a summary from this using certain other functions, which we'll come to later as and when we cross that stage. And that, for you friends, is your advanced filter, a vital component of your arsenal of Excel functions, which will go a long way in reinforcing your numbers orientation. Thank you very much for watching this capsule.